That's our #1 question of everybody coming in the doors of the winery. You know, it's like, what made you do this? And no, we didn't wake up one morning and say, wouldn't it be great fun to own a winery? This was our plan B, Frank's plan B, to prevent this farm from becoming a housing development. It's been in the Hobson family for 112 years. We were primarily tobacco farmers, grow soybeans, of course, and wheat and corn and all the typical farm things. Nothing that you have to feed.
Milk cow.
Yeah, there was a dairy here when Frank was growing up. So our name is from RagApple Lassie, which was his 4-H show calf, who ended up becoming the grand champion in North Carolina in 1957 when Frank was 12 years old. I mean, we've been very blessed with some nice publicity because at this point in time, there are only 2 wineries in all of North Carolina. We were the only one for the first 10 years that were actual farmers themselves, made their living farming, you know, and switched to this. There are lots of wineries, as you know, in North Carolina now, and it's wonderful. It's putting us on the map. But they're largely owned by people, captains of industry, people coming from other businesses, hiring all the people they need, you know, hiring a marketing director, hiring a winemaker, doing all those things. And so it's been really nice from that aspect. You know, and that's another question I tell people. We have 6 wines that you really cannot turn your hand over for the difference, year in and year out. You really can't, and it's the dry whites, our Chardonnay. We're known for our Chardonnay, particularly because it's barrel fermented and it's surly aged. And barrel fermenting we were talking about, that's the singing of the barrels, you know, moving, because most of the Chardonnays made are steel tank fermented, so they have a sharper, crisper taste. Our Chardonnay is creamy and buttery because it's barrel fermented. And in surly aging, it's the same thing as, think pulp in orange juice. If you leave all the pulp in place until time to drink it, then it's added just another quality to it that you don't get. But our dry reds are all nice. And then we have a reserve, Hobson's Choice. Our name is Hobson, as you know, and Hobson's Choice is a phrase from Victorian England that literally translated, what you see is what you get.
It is agriculture. It's look after and
Frank's grapes do well because he sings to them every morning.
yeah, we like to sing to
He
them.
has a little truck that fits just between the rows, and he goes and rides down the rows once they're in leaf, and he can check from both sides of the car, you know, what's going on in the plants, and then he whistles to them. And he told somebody one time, he says, my grapes are happy because I whistle to them every morning.
It's just, when you grow grapes and you watch them very closely, you live and learn with them, and it's they're fascinating to grow. I love growing. They pollinate themselves. When they bloom, they got a little hat to sit on, and that's where your piston and stamen is, right underneath there. And so as they grow, that little cap comes up a little bit, and they look funny, so they throw the hats off at you.
And this gives energy, it doesn't take energy. You know, when you're really tired or you have a corporate job that we've all been through, you know, they just suck the very energy out of your bones sometimes with demands or whatever. Well, people that are here because they want to be here. They like the fact that we were a farm and this really had a mission to keep the farm agricultural. They like our wines, they like who they're with. It's a fun thing for them. And so we're here 7 days a week, but it gives energy. You never wake up and go, oh no, I have to go to work today. The Wall Street Journal was here interviewing us shortly after because they were looking for one of these farms that had always grown tobacco, and what on earth were they going to do? And when she finished, the reporter looked at Frank and said, would you do this all over again? And he didn't hesitate a second. This is his direct quote. He said, it's been a hell of a ride, but I'm sure glad I didn't miss it. It is fun. It is. Like I said, everybody that comes here is here because they want to be here, and they bring you energy. And to watch people like your wines or be able to introduce your wines to people that are not necessarily seasoned wine drinkers, and to watch the expressions on their face. So yes, we've just had great fun doing this. We really have.